Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to my humble little cave. I'm out camping in a secret little special spot that I don't like to tell anybody about or where it is. Not too many people know this spot, but today I want to do another campfire rant. This one's not going to be like so much of a, no, it's actually going to be a campfire rant in a cave though, of all places. Pulling out my phone is because I have some notes here and I wanted to share with you. And I hope I don't sound a little boastful or anything. I'm not trying to be boastful, but I just want to kind of share a little bit about who ROA is, ROA Off-Road. First of all, we've been in business over 14 years now. We'll be soon going on 15 years. ROA Off-Road Experience Center in Utah and an ROA Off-Road Experience Center in South Carolina. You might be like, what the heck is that? Well, we're technically fall under the category, according to the state and government, as a dealership. And what that is somebody that buys and sells vehicles or recreational vehicles. Recreational vehicles are RVs or campers, trailers, travel trailers. If you're brand new, an RV stands for recreational vehicle. Most people think that's a giant thing that you drive, but it's actually any type of recreational vehicle. So a travel trailer, a fifth wheel, a motorhome, any of those types of things fall under the category of recreational vehicles. So we are a dealer for recreational vehicles. But since day one, we have never felt like we're very much like anybody else. Usually when dealers do one thing, we do the exact opposite. We don't operate a lot like any other dealership, even though technically we fall under that category. So we've changed our name to Experience Center because we believe that's more about what we are and what we're after. So I want to tell you a little bit. I was talking with one of our roamers, and what that is that's a customer. We don't call them customers, we call them roamers, because that comes from ROA MER. So when you purchase a camper or a trailer from ROA Off-Road, you become a roamer. And so I was talking with one of our roamers. His name is Barthold, and his wife is Kat, and they are some of the most incredible people in the world. They bought a camper from us, a trailer from us, probably 3 to 4 years ago, and they've been on a lot of our roamer adventures. They haven't been to the rally yet, but hopefully they'll come out next year. That's the hope anyways, but they've been to a lot of adventures. They've actually hosted some of our adventures out in Colorado. They're right near Ridgeway. We were up at their ranch this last fall, and then we were down there a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and they've been so incredible. Been down to Baja with them. Essentially, I was out with Barthold and Kat and their family, with my family, and they bought a trailer from us 4 years ago, right? Like, they are a customer. I was chatting with them, and I think I maybe read it somewhere. It's like, get feedback from your customers, which are roamers. And I asked Barthold, I said, hey, you've worked with us a bunch, you've been on some of these adventures. What do you believe that makes ROA different from other businesses? And he was talking about like, well, you're not like any other dealer in America, Shane. And I said, well, what are some of the things? So he says, and I'm gonna quote, because I was writing it down, because I don't want to just put words in his mouth. He says, Shane, you seem to have this endless enthusiasm for what you do, for the outdoors and for the trailers you sell. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And he says, you and Michael and your whole team, you guys are very passionate. Now I'm kind of quoting as far as I can remember, but that was his exact words were, you guys have an endless enthusiasm for what you do for your campers and for the outdoors. It's our industry essentially, and then he kind of elaborated, and I don't want to try to misquote him or anything. He can make a comment below if I do, but essentially he was saying like, you, Michael, your whole team, even your families, right? Your wife, you're all very passionate about the outdoors and nature and camping and trailers, and you guys do it all the time, right? And you're very passionate about it. And I was like, that's really great. Thank you so much. And he says, and I said, what else? What's something else you would say that really sets us apart? And he says, and I quote, he says, the experience for your customer, the love that you have for your customers, and how you actually care about your customers, is actually what he said. That was unquote. That was his entire quote. So the experience, the love, and the care that we have for our customers, which, like I said, are roamers. We don't call them customers, and the kind of how that came about was just I never liked the idea of just calling somebody customers, because at the end of the day, you can be a terrible company and you have customers. You can be a great company and you have customers, right? And so, I think I was reading one of these books about how to improve your customer relations, and they're like, don't call them customers, call them clients, because and like the whole premise behind it was like, clients are returning customers, like they keep coming back, which means you got to treat them better so that they'll keep coming back and giving you money. And I was like, that's like, I guess that's cooler than just customers, because customers could also could be perceived as a one-time transaction in and out and never come back. So clients are like, they're returning customers, so they keep on doing transactions and keep coming back. And just the way he presented in the book was, I was like, yeah, I don't really want to even do clients, because it's still this relationship, like we're the business, you're the customer or the client, and you just give us money and it's a transaction, and you're welcome, but we offer a better service, right? And I want it to be better, deeper, more profound, just a different type of experience, right? My wife is from Peru, and when you go to some of these countries out of the US, your grocery dealer or whatever, the person you buy your fruit and vegetables from, is your neighbor. Like, it's the person on the local corner street, and they treat you kind of like family, but you're not family, right? So I didn't want to say families, because there's a lot of companies out there that are like, oh, we're family. And it's like, no, actually you're not. And I'm sorry, but being frank, like, my roamers are not my family. My family is my family, my wife, my daughter, my parents. And I would die for my wife and my daughter. They are my family. And there's nothing more important in my life than them. And I sometimes have to remind even my roamers that, hey, listen, like, I would love to stay all night and work all night and get your trailer ready and make it perfect for you. But at the end of the day, my family's more important, and I have to close and go home and be with them, is because they're more important than anybody, even you. I'm sorry. as hurtful as that may be, like, I have to keep my priorities straight. And so at the end of the day, it's not family either. That's kind of cheesy, and it's just not true. And so we came up with this all-encompassing phrase called roamers, because we're adventurers, we're a community, and we do in some way act like family. Like, in some ways we are like a family, but we're not actual family. And so to me, that's what we wanted to create something entirely new outside of all of those things. And I think Barthold, that was kind of what he was trying to get across. Maybe I elaborated too much into that, but he was saying, like, it's unique. It's unlike anything else out there, with the adventures and with the rallies and truly getting people to go out and use their campers. The last thing he said was, he says expertise, and he said, Shane, you guys actually use your campers. And I think that's really important. And I know if you've watched our videos, if you've been on our channel, that's something you probably see us talk about a lot, is how we're users. I have been camping all week almost with my camera guy. With Michael was here the other day. Our other camera guy was here the other day. And we've been down in Moab. We've been over to Swing Arm City. We went to the desert, the little Sahara Desert nearby, and now we're at my secret little cave. It's my bat cave. It's my secret lair. I can't tell you where it's at. But anyway, we're now in our cave. And we've been camping. It was 21 degrees last night, frigid. And I'm in our new UEV 19 Conqueror and testing it out, sleeping in it. I have my ring that tracks my sleep, so I can tell you whether I'm getting good sleep on the mattress or not. It was toasty last night, very, very warm. We had to turn the heater down. It's a Truma, and I started it at 74, and it got too hot. I turned it down to 71 in the night because it was really cold last night. When we got to where we were at, the window got popped open some way, and once again, we're just experiencing, and we're understanding and figuring these things out. And when you actually work with somebody that has some sort of expertise, because they use it, they modify it, they retrofit it, that creates a different experience for the end user. And now, just to be clear, we're not perfect. We make mistakes, and we're learning all the time. I recently heard somebody say a master is always learning. You know, these great artists of the world, you know, in the past, whoever, Michelangelo and Monet or whoever it was, a lot of them, they were working in their craft until the day they died, right? So a master or an artist never stops learning, never stops improving what they're doing. So we don't claim that we know everything or that we're the end all. That's not true. But compared to anybody else in the marketplace, well, there is nobody else like us in the marketplace, because everybody else is a dealer. We're not a dealer, we're an experience center. And that's completely, and the experience you're gonna have is different with us. You know, most people, like, right, you have an issue, you call up, you set an appointment to take your trailer in, and hopefully in months and months later it's done, right? We help over the phone technical support, which is just, nobody does that. It's just, I don't think people understand that. Nobody does that stuff. But because of that, we're also hearing and learning on the ground all of the issues that are happening with our trailers, with the campers, whatever it is, this or that. And we bring in all that experience, plus using it. I believe that we actually know more about these campers and even a lot of our manufacturers, even the ones that use them, they use them in different areas, but we're using them all over the region, and we're getting feedback from our roamers from all over the region, all over America, and telling us, giving us the feedback and the understanding so that we can provide a great experience for you. So do just want to say thank you, Barhold and Kat. You guys are some of the most amazing roamers. I believe all of our roamers are amazing, and I just wanted to give a shout out to you two and just say that we are very, very grateful. At the end of the day, we wouldn't exist without people that come and buy campers from us, and we're very, very grateful for specifically you two, but everybody. So thank you so much for watching the Campfire Rant. I hope you have learned something. And you know what? Let me tell you, what you should have learned is, at the end of the day, one of the most important things about buying a camper is making sure you find a good dealer. You know, there are good dealers out there, and I recommend, you know, some of the products that we carry, I recommend the manufacturers to reach out to certain dealers that I know personally, because I believe they do a good job too. You know, of course I'm biased, I think we do the best, but that's just me. But there are great dealers out there in the marketplace, and if you can't make it out to Utah or South Carolina, that's fine. Find somebody else, and just make sure you ask those questions. You know, do you actually use the trailer? Do the owners, the salesmen, do they use the trailers? Do they actually camp in them? And are they experts on the things, you know, and like, are they actually enthusiastic about their industry? Because if not, you know, sometimes you have to question, what are you enthusiastic about? Is it the money that you're making, the margin you're making? And sometimes that leads you to a bad experience, because if they're being, you know, if they're excited about just the money they make, then they don't always make the right decision. At least over the years, I found that when you make money decisions, those are sometimes not good decisions, because it's so important. And it's why our salesmen are not on commission, is because we want them to help inform the people to make the right decision, to get them into what's best for them. And what's best for one person is different from everybody. But thank you so much once again. And I hope you have learned something. Make a comment if you have any questions. We're gonna try to make this Campfire Rant a more regular thing. And because we just think there's a lot of things, especially for somebody that's a first-time RV owner or somebody that's looking, I believe there's a lot of information that we can share, and there's a lot of lack of education in the industry, and I want to try to start helping out with these Campfire Rants and kind of giving some valuable information and education to people that are in the process of looking for a camper and know what to look for, what to avoid, and all of those things. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.